Okay, so if we look at the example on page 375, like I said, read the question carefully because this is real information. One disadvantage of burning propane, so if you have a propane stove, a propane fireplace, the propane in your camper, is that carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas, is one of the products. The released carbon dioxide increases the concentration of CO2 in the atmosphere. How many moles of CO2 are produced when 10 moles of C3H8 are burned in excess oxygen in a gas grill? Step 1, you have to have a balanced equation. So what am I starting with? What do I have?
10 moles.
Of what?
C3H8.
Which is?
Propane.
Propane. So I have propane, C3H8, and I'm going to burn it. And it told me that the bad byproduct is what? CO2. So one of the products is CO2. And it tells you the other is, actually that's not right. CO2. If I'm burning something, what has to be a reactant?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. And I believe it told you that. When C3H8 is burned in excess oxygen, so I have C3H8 produces oxygen. This is a combustion reaction. So what's my other product?
Water.
H2O, water. And it also shows that down. It shows that down further, but don't look at that yet. So I have C3H8. So I have 3 carbon here. And how many do I have on the other side?
1.
So I'm going to put a 3 here. So 3, 8, 2, 3, 6, 2, 1. Hydrogen I have 8. Hydrogen I have 2. What am I going to put here? 4. So I have 8 and 2.
4.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I do. Okay, so 3 carbon, 8 hydrogen. How many oxygen? 10. So 2 times 5. Okay, so I have a balanced equation. That is the first part that I have to have. Then I start with what I have. So coal, what do I have? In my question, what number am I going to write down? I'm only picking on you because you were staring off into space. 10. I need to know 10 what? 10.0 moles of what? C3H8. So that's what I'm starting with. What is it asking me to find? What's the question ask me to find? Anybody? Moles of CO2. Okay, so in section 1 we found mole ratios. So I could use 1 of these to 5 of these, 5 of these to 4 of those. So if I have this set up, what's going to go on the bottom?
C3H8.
And moles of C3H8. When I use a mole to mole ratio, I can change it from one thing to another. So if I'm going to do that, I can change it to moles of CO2. And to do that, I need a mole ratio from my balanced equation. In my equation, how many moles of carbon dioxide are formed? 3. How many moles of propane are used? 1. This cancels. That's what I'm looking for. So I am done setting things up. all I am going to do is what?
Multiply.
So 10 times 3,
30.
30. I need 3 significant digits. So 30.0 moles of CO2. So if 1 mole makes 3, 10 makes 30, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be my final answer.